This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Watching the news, right? And then they say, well, protesters, and here's a protester. He is now looting the store. She is now looting this store. Let me explain something to all of you out there, okay? Because there are millions of people right now that are protesting, and they're legitimate protesters, okay? The second you start vandalizing, you're not a protester. The second you're looting, you're not a protester. The second you assault another human being, you're not a protester. I just want you to know that. And for any of the broadcast people out there that I watch on CNBC, on Bloomberg, on Fox, on CNN, on MSNBC, because I watch all the channels. I'm not one of those guys just locked in on one. I watch them all. Okay, I like to get all the different points of view from different people because, as we all know, you watch one channel and they've got one slant only. You know what I mean? It's sad. Very few spots are actually really objective, actually. And so, yes, I'm talking to all of you out there that are locked into CNN and Fox only. Yes. You know, if you're only watching those, you're only watching one slant. Just want you to know that, but whatever. So I'm watching all of this, and to a T, all of them. They're calling the protesters looters, and they're calling protesters criminals, and protesters, and they're assaulting. No, there's a different element of people, and it's been like that since the beginning of time with rioters, with looters. When we have protests, we have people that are out for other reasons. And those people are criminals. Are we clear on that? Okay? Once you vandalize, you are a criminal. You are no longer, or actually, you were probably never a protester. And those of you assaulting people out on the streets, that poor older couple that got beat up by those guys, that was disgusting. You're a criminal. You're a scumbag. You're a lowlife, is what you are. That's all you're doing by damaging all of these stores. Damaging the police cars, all of that. By the way, those are police cars you pay for. So we got to pay for it. In the middle of a pandemic, everybody's lost trillions. Municipalities don't have enough in their budgets as it is for all kinds of things coming up in the next calendar year. Now they've got to also find the money to pay for all the damage. Do you think they have that money? Do you think a bunch of these store owners that have actually lost money for months now, they've got money? And now the insurance companies have to pay for all of this. And guess who ends up paying all the insurance rates? We all do. So I'm just saying it's a vicious cycle, and it's an ignorant cycle. Now, these are criminals. They're not protesters. I see the difference between the protesters, and I see the difference between the criminal element. Okay? And please, don't tell me about, because it's funny, right? In Minneapolis, the people that are they're, 60% of people we're arresting aren't from Minneapolis. And 60% of people who are not arresting are not from Brooklyn. And 60% of people who are not arresting are not from Miami. Well, they're from the United States somewhere. And they're criminals from somewhere else. Who cares where they come from? They're criminals. They're not protesters. So all of you out there, watching those people walking out of the Van store with your shoes and walking out of CVS and whatever other place you're breaking into and taking all that, you are no longer part of the solution. You are now adding to the problem. Okay? That's all you're doing. So please, if you're watching Reuters or CNN or Fox or MSNBC, or if you're actually working for them, please do not call the protesters. Okay, don't call them protesters when they're looting, and don't call them protesters when they're assaulting people. Call them what they are. They are criminals, because that doesn't get us anywhere. Setting fire to neighborhoods and to buildings and all of that, that's absolutely asinine. That doesn't help out the George Floyd cause. That doesn't help out the black community. That doesn't help out us fighting for any cause whatsoever. And assaulting innocent people? Come on, man. That makes you just as bad as Chauvin. I saw that guy just wail away at that poor old woman. And that was just disgusting. If you've seen that video and you know what I'm talking about. Like, that make you feel like a man? That make you feel good or something? I saw those guys, and that's as cowardly as it gets to attack those old people who are just protecting their hard-earned business. That's all. And then you want to go in there and abuse them when they have done nothing to you whatsoever. How does that make any situation better? How does that make our society better? So when you loot, you're a criminal. You're not a protester. Okay? The second you choose to hurt, damage, or steal, you are not part of the solution. You are part of the problem. That doesn't get us anywhere. So if I'm going to pick on Steve Poherence for pushing that girl down, because that was disgusting, vile, there was no place for that. It's the same thing I would say to all of those criminals out there tearing up all kinds of property that we all have to end up paying for in the end. You're going to pay for them through taxes. You're going to pay through them through insurance premiums. You're going to end up paying for all that stuff. That's the part people don't understand. It's still going to come out of our pockets again.